the city can be so hard, but after dark, new energy finds me. I light up the night and live like a star. In the evening, the real me comes alive. I can feel it. In the evening, something happens that I can't describe, but it helps me to survive. It's like magic, like something in the air. You can feel it. Close your eyes now, and your heart will take you there. Just let it take you there. Monday morning in a line at the bank, stand around, trying to cash a check. To pay for your one-room apartment with a beautiful view of the alley at the back. All day, you got to fight to defend your rights. Every day, I work like a soldier, working to live, living for the night. In the evening, the real me comes alive. I can feel it. In the evening, something happens that I can't describe, but it helps me to survive. It's like magic, like something in the air. You can feel it. Close your eyes now, and your heart will take you there. Just let it take you there. New York, new energy finds me. I light up the night and live like a star. Live like a star. In the evening, the real me comes alive. I can feel it. In the evening, something happens that I can't describe, but it helps me to survive. It's like magic, like something in the air. You can feel it. Close your eyes now, and your heart will take you there. Just let it take you there. In the evening, the real me comes alive. I can feel it. In the evening, something happens that I can't describe, but it helps me survive. It's like magic, like something in the air. You can feel it. Close your eyes now, and your heart will take you there. Just let it take you there. It's like magic. It's like magic. You feel it. Just let it take you there. And your heart will take you
I just love the way I feel every Sunday when I hear that music, because I know I'm about ready to say hello to some of my favorite people, which would be all of you. And how are you doing this Sunday afternoon? You know who I am. I am your diva, the divinely inspired, victoriously alive, awesome, audacious, and it's Sunday, so we will be anointed your diva, Sheryl Lee Ralph, and welcome to another episode. Alas, our last episode for a little while. You know, Mother's got to take a break at some point of Divas Simply Quarantined. Fabulous in isolation. Of course, you see our new digs here. Yeah. We thought we'd give you something just a little different, you know, especially when you're going out. My granny used to tell me, listen, you can't arrive at Johnny Cake and leave a dumpling. All right, some of you are thinking, what the hell does she mean by that? Well, a Johnny Cake and a dumpling are made of the same ingredients. They're just cooked differently. So you can't arrive with the same ingredients and leave with the same ingredients just being cooked a different way. You have to have a brand new recipe. You have to have some new zhuzh on it. And halfway through the airings of Divas Simply Quarantined, Fabulous in Isolation, we got a call from Cadillac and they said, oh, we see you. So we want to thank Cadillac for supporting us these last few episodes and for making sure we never stop arriving. Please run that commercial.
We all have our own journey ahead of us, our own hopes and dreams. And along the way, we'll pass many milestones, each one more inspiring than the last. These are the moments that define you. These are the moments that drive you to achieve even more, to reach even higher, then do it all over again. So pause. Take a moment of reflection and celebrate every single one. Because success isn't just about where you want to get to. It's also about how you get there.
And cut on rehearsal.
That's right, baby. Never stop arriving. And listening to that commercial, which I love seeing it every week. But I want to stop and pause and thank Ray Warren for introducing me to Alexis. Thank you, Cadillac. Never stop arriving. Well, a lot of you know that next week, Saturday, December 5th, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would make it 8 p.m. Central Time, Divas Simply Singing. The concert telethon is going to air on KTLA, and you, my viewers, will be able to view wherever you are because it will be live streamed too. It will be live streamed on DivasSimplySinging.com. You heard me, what I just said. It'll be live streaming at DivasSimplySinging.com. It will be live streaming on Divas Simply Singing Facebook Live. It will be live streamed on KTLA on their Facebook, but you read it right there at the bottom. Take note, children. DivasSimplySinging.com. Live streamed next Saturday, 7, 8, and 9, 7 Pacific, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Log on to watch the 30th. Can you believe it? The 30th annual Divas Simply Singing. Do you know what that makes me? It makes me a phenomenon because, believe it or not, 30 years, it means I've been producing this since I was an embryo. Yeah, I am scientifically something special. And that's also because, you know, right about now with this corona, I do what? I mask up. Thank you. Mask up. Oh, it's fancy. I know y'all know I'm fancy. Yes, that's right. My fancy mask, my pearl studded mask, and my jewels. ShopwithSherylLee.com. I know, shameless plug, shopwithSherylLee.com. My crown has been paid for, so I wear one every day. That part. But back to what I was saying, 30 years of Divas Simply Singing. 30 years. First of all, it's amazing that it's been this long, because honestly, I thought that there would have been a vaccine, a cure. I thought that it would have been different. I thought that HIV/AIDS was something we wouldn't be really talking about. Well, we aren't really talking about it, which is why it's really still around. But you would know exactly what I'm saying. But when I think back to that very first year, making all the phone calls to my friends, women that I knew had great voices, great personality, a great ability to just stand on a stage and just take an audience by their sheer being. Yeah. There was oh my God, Mary Wilson was there, Sheryl was there, Stephanie Mills was there, Tisha Campbell, a baby Tisha Campbell, she was there. And I mean, there were like 25 other women all there. And we have a special one with us today, but it was just by calling them up and saying, look, I want to do a living, breathing memorial to the many friends that I've lost to AIDS. I said, girl, that's all you have to say. I'm there. Tell me where and when. And for 30 years, the divas, the divinely inspired, victoriously awesome ones, show up every year, each year, every year, sometimes twice a year if we do it in LA and a different state, like Washington, D.C. or San Francisco, different city, or Pennsylvania. You know, it all depends. But they show up each and every time with the hugeness of heart, mind, and spirit. And we're a nonprofit, so you know they're volunteering, which lets you know just how big their hearts really are. But when it came to putting it all together that very first year, well, I brought back an old friend of mine, David Coury. Please welcome him, the first director producer, because we had to do it all that very first year. David Coury.
Didn't
Hi,
we though?
David.
Good to see you. I
Great
love
to
your James Baldwin reference about our crown has already been bought and paid for. All we have to do is wear it. And I'm thinking of another quote by James Baldwin, one of my favorite writers. He wrote, "Know from whence we came, or know from whence you came. If you know from whence you came, there are absolutely no limitations to where you can go." And everything you've just said really is wrapped up in his words, because everything you just said is about knowing from whence you divas, embryo as you were. I guess that made me an embryo too. Then.
I think you were a
Let
pre-embryo.
me tell you, we were embryos on your living room floor. There were no cell phones, no email. There was a fax machine. They were
Yeah.
being updated as we sat there. But it was really wonderful to get to know each other through the dream. And really, it was your dream. I know you asked me back to maybe jog your memory. Not that it's not great, but another perspective. I remember sitting on we were introduced by a dear friend of both of ours, Paul Papil, and
That's
he
right.
knew we had to meet. That's all he said. You have to meet. And I had recently written a song that he had heard, and he said, "Play it for her, play it for her." And that sounds like Paul, right? Play it for her. I don't know if you know this about me, and you'll laugh, but I am shy. It was yeah. I am shy. And so I sat at your grand piano and played you this song. And you took my hand, and we had just met. We had just met moments before, and it was in February of 1991. And I knew it was either February 13th or 14th. I can tell you because I remember I showed up with a rose. And let's just assume we both had plans on February 14th. So let's just say it was February 13th that I came. Yeah. And after you heard the song, I sang the song. You said, "Sit with me." And I call it your famous, not "I have a dream" speech, but your "I had a dream," because you looked me in my eye. I get chills when I think about it. Talk about timing. You said, "I had a dream 2 nights ago that you, were standing, obviously, in some incredible number, right? But you were standing by a grand piano singing for the cause. And the event is called, and you never changed it. You said these, and I want your audience to know this. You said to me, it's called Divas Simply Singing. And I imagined myself in my dream singing a song just like you played for me. I said, well, I love it. And remember, this was MTV Unplugged, Sheryl. It was just in its infancy.
That's right.
So that was really inspired dreaming on your part. And you ended up singing that song and another song as well. But you said, so what do you think? I said, well, let's do it. You said, really? And I remember I called you the next day. You said, you really want? I said, yeah, we just got to find a place without union, and we just got to figure it out. And you said you knew, you can start calling the gals, and we just had to pick a date, find a venue. And 3 days later, when I was able to secure a venue, you said to me, I remember we walked into the Scottish Rite Temple together.
That's right.
On Wilshire, and you said, so we're really doing this. I said, we're doing it, and we never looked back. And I was, honored to produce the first two. What your audience might not know is that, and produce meaning co-produce, co-licked envelopes, we co-did everything.
That's right.
We did. Oh, look at that. It says Sheryl Lee Ralph and David Coury present. Well, look at that. Yeah. Now that says here, is that on your screen too, the program?
That's on my screen.
Yeah, good.
That's the
So here's
second
the
one.
thing, as long as you can still hear me, that was year 2. And what
That's
I
year
want,
two.
you might have forgotten. I don't know, you probably remember this. So we did year 1. Incredible. And of course, opened with Debbie Allen. Act 1 ended with you, of course, singing the song I played for you in your home that night in February. I again want your audience, your fans to know there was 3 months to the day we met, or week we met, that the first one went up. So everyone, she's not lying when she says, made phone calls, Divas said, yes, I'm in. The incredible thing was, we had trouble saying no, the two of us,
right.
and we were going to have too many. So then cut to the next year. It was such a huge hit. And Tom Bradley, Willie Brown, Maxine Waters, they didn't sing, but they came up on stage. It was such fans of yours, and thrilling. It became fans of mine because of my association with you, and that was wonderful. But then we did the second year, and remember Rodney King riots, the decision,
Right.
and Tom Bradley called us and said, can you, because everything shut down the week before our events. Everyone knows what it takes to put one of these on. And your producers throughout the years, and your current ones now, probably going, oh my goodness. So guys, guess what we did? We had to recast, because not all the divas could make the new date. And then you, because you can't help yourself but be working all these years, got cast in the Eddie Murphy movie. And you said to me, what should I do? What should you do? You should do the film. And we did everything through landlines while you were on location, and redid the whole thing. So I, in essence, with you in 2 years, actually produced 3 shows.
How about that?
And they were magic. The feeling, the audience eats you up. There is that. But aside from that, there was that dream, you see. And I remember calling you from a print shop, one of our many Cadillac sponsors, right? At the time, right? And they, what do you want to call this? And you said, an evening. This is my best Sheryl Lee. An evening of song and entertainment. I thought but this is, you're still using this, right? Divas Simply Singing, an evening of song and entertainment to benefit. And you never veered from that. So I want everyone to know that from your couch in 1991 in February to this moment, yeah, you weren't lying. And we didn't imagine the world looking as it does now,
Right.
but we still have hope. You're still singing up a storm. People still come out. And I find it incredible during these times that you're doing one as only you would have to right now. And it's smart. And I'm not saying the pandemic is great, but there have been silver linings. I've been calling it with all of my students and colleagues and clients that we stay home to come home.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
powerful. But those early days, those early, I mean, I got us Greg Gorman. Again, it wasn't hard with saying, well, it's Sheryl Lee, but Greg Gorman during that,
During that
everybody
time.
everybody came out because again, I don't know if it's popular to say this, and I know we're airing live, so I'm gonna be gentle with this, and I mean no disrespect, but during that time, there were a lot of people saying they were going to do benefits for the cause. But, and this is my opinion, everyone, not Sheryl Lee Ralph's. She can speak for herself. But I remember telling you my only hesitancy is that everybody is putting themselves on stage to just put themselves on stage.
Right.
And I knew that's what we weren't doing. And that was the most, and look at this 30 years later with you, that people know that's not what it is. And we were very proud of that we gave them a show, but it's heart
From the
and
heart.
soul.
That's right. It's interesting. And you're alluding to it, but David, people always say over the years, I thought it was like just a show, but it's not just a show. It's a feeling. And for whatever reason, Divas is a feeling, you know? And just like you said, when I had that dream that I was on stage singing for the memory of my friends, I still sing for the memory of those who fought and like the song you wrote, and for those who have yet to fight.
To
You
those,
know that?
yeah, to those who've yet, yeah, wow, right, right. And it's interesting. When I got a call, your invite, I looked at both programs, and we'd had the lyrics to the theme song on the back of both programs, which I had forgotten. But I had updated the lyrics from the first year because that thing happened within 3 months. And you said, "All right, love my song at the end of Act One. We need a theme song." Oh, okay, I got you. Of course, I called it "Simply We Sing" because
Right.
don't look any further than your dream, right? But
Right.
I updated the lyrics from year one to year two because I understood it more and added in certain words, rewrote the entire bridge to what you just said, to those who've gone before us and those who've yet to fight. What we find or what we have found, what you and I
Mm.
and everyone online right now with us, and everyone who I encourage to attend and give everyone. Remember, giving is an act of love and light, and
Yeah.
everything we're talking about, and Divas Simply Singing, Simply Speaking,
Yes.
is the language of love, the language of light. And I wrote, to those who've gone before us and those who've yet to fight, what we found or are finding in a great big world is that courage can bring you back to your
So
life. And I remember Diane Louie, the great Diane Louie, that again, boy, you brought him out, Sheryl. Said to me from year one to year two, that bridge could be better. She said to me, I said, really? How? She said, just say something. But it wasn't really hard to say something,
say
having
something.
co-produced the first one. Of what you allude to is the feeling. I had
Yeah.
people, I remember I told Diva of Divas Ken Page, fabulous Ken Page, who we couldn't yet have males in it because I told you, can we have guys? Also, you went, David, Not yet. Not yet. But Ken said, but I'm definitely there. He said, and can I bring a date? I says, yeah, but make it good. And he made it good because we had Brenda Russell singing Get
Yes,
Here at the end of Act Two. And
that's right.
then he brought Oleta Adams as his date. And so we had star power in the audience
Yes,
and on stage, which really brought a voice to the cause. It
yes.
just, there's no other way to say it. And I had people saying to me, and I know you heard this time and time again, when I was involved, and I still feel like I'm involved. Anytime I've had someone over the years say, you know, Mr. Coury, students will say, I saw this great show. Have you ever heard of it, Divas Simply Singing? And do you know, hand to God, I've never said, yes, I know. I da 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 da. Never felt the need to say that,
I get
which
it.
says, I know you get it. It just says everything about what it was and what it is and what it continues to be, even for me in this moment. But people would say to me, David, I have never had an experience in the theater as I had tonight. And I heard that when I was on board for those first 2 years.
Yeah.
And that always struck me because it was, I mean, Sheryl, do you remember we had a black piano? Then we said, how are we going to keep it moving? I said, well, I have a white grand at home. So I moved my white baby grand. Do you remember that? And because we had to represent, we had black and white pianos because diva, yeah. We had, and one diva would walk out and then we kept the train moving. And then
Oh my
do you remember?
gosh.
And then for the first finale, we didn't do that the second year because we kept it for those first three. We kept changing it up. You always had fabulous gowns, fabulous songs to sing, and entrances as you would only have to. But I remember using both pianos in the finale where you sang the verses of Simply We Sing
Yes.
at the end. And yeah. And here you are still. Do you remember the song While I'm Around? That was the song I played for you in February of 1991 that you sang at the end of Act One for the first couple years.
Well, here's what I remember. Simply we sing a song of love. Simply we sing to find a way. The Spirit moves us to do what's right. Only because, what is it?
If only to bring more life to life.
If
If
only to
only
bring
to
more
bring more life.
life to life. Simply we sing.
Oh my
Thank you,
goodness.
David Coury.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And
Thank
you
you.
continue. And yeah, I mean, I remember
This
the
Saturday,
opening of the verse. I mean, humbly we pray for those who are in pain, and somehow we dare to say. Remember, in those days,
say,
humbly and somehow we dare to say, life's
yeah,
not in vain, but for today. Um, yeah, there's a voice from within says, keep hope alive. So there it is. Let life begin. Yeah, boy, your voice it's a fine wine.
okay,
My
David
good.
Coury, I'm going to tell you this secret because I know you've got a heart out, but I remember. Do you remember the conversations you and I used to have about singing? And I was always comparing to somebody else. David, it has taken all of this time to just realize I can only sing my voice
And I hope
and
you remember
everybody
that I
else.
told you that constantly. And I have to say that it was a privilege to be able to give that to you, and you heard it. But as with my own life too, we know sense and we have our own sensibility, but then it becomes us. And you know what that hope is? I've always believed hope is what we do, and you have done, and hope is what we've become. And even what you just did, what you just sang, I mean, you should, yeah. And I said you should sing more. You just, what you just did, and that's the heart. That level of transparency is what people, since the Wall Street crash years ago, people want transparency, you see. And that's
Yeah.
what you offer them. And isn't that lovely? I mean, my goodness. My goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for being there right at the beginning.
Oh,
And thank
wow.
you
Yes.
for coming
And you did
on.
it. You took it. You took it. And yep, that it was your dream. And again, everyone, remember, she said it. I had a dream 2 nights ago. It's called it's Divas Simply Singing, and you never veer from it. And I hope everyone hears what I say, because that is the truth. And listen, have wonderful shows. I'll be
Thank
thinking of
you.
you. And let's not wait another 28 years to say.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
must. And
Okay.
I would love to.
Blessings, though. Blessings to you, dear.
Mwah.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. You know, they always say, or my mother used to always say, reason, season, time. And I was very, very happy to have that relationship at that time and for the seasons that it lasted, to get Divas Simply Singing up and happening. And yeah, I did have a dream. And I was standing on stage and I was singing for my friends. Wow. And here we are, 30 years later. I also had a dream that we would be on TV, because we kept getting these reviews and these notices, and everybody kept saying, why isn't this show on TV? You should be on TV. TV needs this show. Well, guess what? It might have taken 30 years, but Saturday, December 5th on KTLA, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Central Mountain, and then 9 o'clock on the other coast. But you better tune in at 7 o'clock, because you will be watching it on KTLA live if you're in LA. Every place else, you log on at what would be 7 o'clock for us. Right. And you can stream it. You can live stream it on DIVASSimplySinging.com. DIVASSimplySinging.com. In fact, you can go there right now if you want to and look at it. Okay, not really, but then you can look at the website, see if you like it. But go to DIVASSimplySinging.com, where it will be live streamed. It'll also be on Facebook if you got to watch from your phone. You never know. Listen, I don't care what screen you're watching on. It could be your TV. It could be your iPhone, your Android, your iPad. It could be your iPhone watch. I don't care. I'm just going to be so very happy that you are there and watching us. Well, darlings, we are going to keep arriving. David Coury, Simply We Sing. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But we are going to keep arriving. And when I come back, have I got a diva for you? Oh, yes, I do. Go on, Mr. Producer.
We all have our own journey ahead of us, our own hopes and dreams. And along the way, we'll pass many milestones, each one more inspiring than the last. These are the moments that define you. These are the moments that drive you to achieve even more, to reach even higher, then do it all over again. So pause. Take a moment of reflection and celebrate every single one. Because success isn't just about where you want to get to. It's also about how you get there.
And cut on rehearsal.
Cadillac, never stop arriving. And there's something, every time I hear that commercial, first of all, I love that Regina King, but I hear that commercial, says, reach on up a little bit higher, stop, and do it all over again. This diva that's coming up, oh, She has done that a few times, and she has got the stories to tell. But please welcome Mother Diva, Thelma Houston. Girl, let me tell you something. Nothing but love and respect for you. Everything for you, just keeping it together, just moving through life with such vitality. I mean, I look at you and I say, I know I'm the Energizer Bunny, and that's what I come from. Yes.
And I'm trying to keep up with you. You're my motivation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You do so many things. Oh my God, she's doing this, she's doing that, she's doing this, she's doing that. And it's all for good. And that's such a good thing.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate that. You know, it's Sunday morning here. This Sunday morning, my kids, you know, do this thing. They're grown-ups, but they do this thing every Sunday where they bring people together. You know, it's intergenerational, but a whole lot of millennials, they come together, they breathe together, they talk together, they walk together, they exchange ideas together. They do yoga together. And even with what we do, my being able to call you and do that together, it's like, wow, my kids were actually watching me do what I do and have translated.
And they're creating that. Isn't that's wonderful? Because that's what with my grandkids, my grandkids, that's what I'm my son, I have a son and a daughter, and they're very, very close.
Me too.
But then their kids are very, very close. And then I have great grandkids. So
wow.
Yes. Yes. It's
girl, you look amazing. Oh.
Yes, darling. Great grandchildren.
Come on now. You are the queen, mother.
But you know what, Sheryl, this week I was thinking about when I did the DIVAS Simply Singing here in LA, and then the following, maybe the week or whatever, we did it in San Francisco.
Yes.
And I took my mom who is no longer, rest in peace, is no longer with us, but that was one of the best things. We had such a good time, and she loved I love that book. Oh, that's Sheryl Lee. Woo, she's something now. But it was just so, you know, I thought about that this week.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was
that's such a good memory.
Yeah, it is.
And you know, I remember then, you know, doing it that time when we were invited to go to, what was it? Was it the Moscone Center?
It was the Moscone Center in San Francisco.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we were invited to do that. And I thought, wow, this is absolutely amazing. But honest to God, Thelma, I had no idea that 30 years later, we would still be doing this.
I know.
I thought it would be over. I thought it would be a non-issue.
A vaccine or something. And we're still, but there are people that are living with it and living full lives and stuff. Right. And a lot has happened. So, I mean, we're not where we want to be, but we have a lot of stuff has been done, because when this started, we had no idea what this was.
That's right.
Remember? And
I remember.
And we were losing all of our friends.
Yeah.
You know. So
kudos
to you, honey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say to me, why keep doing it? And I think about it. One, it's a living memorial to all those that we had lost.
That we lost.
At such an awful, ugly time in this country.
Yes.
So we always do it for that. But it's important to carry the message forward, because if people don't remember, they don't know. And there's still so many young people who have no understanding or idea of what happened 40 years ago.
Exactly. Exactly. And still, so many people need educating about it. And unfortunately, what we're learning is that it's still very prevalent in our community.
Very much so.
So,
I had no idea, talking to the folks over at Gilead, I had no idea that the fastest growing group of people to become infected with the virus are people that look just like you and I, Black women.
Black women and
And
older Black women.
South.
And older Black women. Yeah. So we have a lot of work. We have a lot of work still to do, but I can appreciate where we've come from and how far we've gotten. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day who, believe it or not, she's positive, caring for her mother who has now gone into dementia and trying to keep them both away from COVID-19.
Oh my God.
I said to myself, oh my God. I just can't even imagine. Right? But she said to me how thankful she was for the way things have progressed over the years, because one, she was a woman who became positive and nobody was talking about that at all.
Yeah.
At all. And then she said, but I'm thankful that my pills have gone down. And I said, and she's really a real Brooklyn girl. And she was like, oh my God, I have so many less pills now. I used to have like close to 100.
100 yeah.
But now her pill level has gone down, and she was so, thankful that, that for that progress alone.
Yeah. And it has been a lot of progress. It has been a lot.
When you think about somebody who you lost during that time and what they meant to you, who was it?
Well, my hairdresser, and that was because he was one of the first groups. My clothing designer did my stage stuff. Matter of fact, he did the outfit that I wore on my very first album, Sun Shower. Then makeup artists. I mean, just all of my friends, people that were doing these things, and sometimes they just do it because they liked you.
Yes.
Oh, girl, let me beat your face for you, or wear this. This looks good on you. My support. Telling me, oh no, don't do that, girl. No, that's old, that's tired. Don't do that. No, honey, And keeping me up to date with what's going on. And so these were not just people that worked with me, but they were my friends that I hung out with. These were my, close friends. One of my very best friends, we would hang out and do stuff all the time. Songwriter, Sammy. McKinney. I don't, you might see, and then Clifford Peterson and Alan Singletary, and just I can name names, but just a whole host of people. And it was I was explaining to my grandson. I said, with what's going on now with the COVID and people are passing and that, I said, but you know what? When I was younger, when you get older, like the age that I am now, you expect for your friends to be leaving. That's just the normal thing. As you get older in life. I said, but we were experiencing this when we were very young. We were like in our 30s and stuff, and we were losing all of our friends, and so we experienced that earlier in our lives.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I remember
it was not a normal thing.
There was nothing normal about it.
No,
I mean,
no.
I remember, being so young and seeing so many of my friends die. Something was strange about it. And the way they died was horrible. It was, and you know what? In some ways, I look at it like today. I had an uncle who was an early victim of COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was so well loved by church community, everybody, a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this virus, he did not get the send-off that he deserved. He did not get it.
Right.
And I remember back then, your friends, they're young, they're vibrant, they're beautiful, they're talented, they dropped dead. And nobody wanted to go pick them up. Nobody.
Because everybody was scared. Everybody was scared and didn't know what was going on. And it was on. They were like pretty much like now, alone, would be alone.
That's right.
And sometimes there were like couples that they weren't really out with their family members, and the family members would come in and keep the other partner away from them. And so it was a lot of meanness and misunderstanding and all this stuff you're trying to work through, and then you're trying to give them comfort, but you don't know. It was really something.
Yeah, it was. It sometimes I try to say to people, it was the worst. It was one of the worst times that I've ever seen human beings exhibit the worst that they could possibly be, and it was just bad all the way around.
Man's inhumanity to man's inhumanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that over the years you continue to be there. You continue to say yes. You continue to support. You continue to show out. Tell them, baby, if the last thing to go will be the legs, because you see how fabulous mine are. Oh, girl, I'll look at you. I'm saying, yes, you go, Miss Walker. Show them how it's done, girl. Yes. But I'm not going to leave I'm not going to let you go without letting people hear the new music you've got. So I've got the producers there in the background. Madam and Mr. Producer, go on and cue that music up, because I know she's got to go.
My dad was a preacher, a plain self-taught teacher. The world was confusing for him, just like you. A life simply led from the book that he read. And he said something once, and I think it was true. Live and let live, love and be loved. Give and it shall be given. Seek and you will find. Oh yeah. Open the door to your heart and open it wide. Someone is standing outside. Come, presidents, statesmen, and TV debatesmen, don't throw that book away. It's written for you. Oh. Live and let live.
So where did you find these kids on this lovely song
Well,
for a time like this?
I know. Well, that song was on my very first album, Sun Shower. And Jimmy wrote
wow.
that song as a tribute to his father, who was a minister. And so
Oh,
during this pandemic, I saw on KCET, they were talking about, I think it was Yo-Yo Man was on, and he was talking about how some of his musician friends were sending him music, and singers were singing or whatever, and they were playing it on KCET. So I called Jimmy. I said, let's do something, and maybe we can get on KCET. So he said, oh, okay, well, that's nice. So he said, yeah, I'll think about it. So anyway, he called me a few months later after he had seen Black Lives Matter march. He lives in New York, and he felt that he wanted to make a contribution. We wanted to talk about love because there was so much anger, so much bitterness, so much. So we said, because I believe that the answer, that the most powerful tool that we have is love.
yeah.
And I do believe that love conquers all. I really do. And so he asked me, would I do that? And so the producer was in Nashville, Tennessee. Jimmy did the track in New York. The singers Jimmy found, they were in Canada. I did the record, my vocal out here in LA. And so that's how that all came together.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful song for this time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the Phoenix, you keep rising, you keep arriving. And Thelma Houston, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you've been a participant over these years, a part of Divas Simply Singing. And Saturday, December 5th, 7 o'clock, KTLA, we will do it all again for the 30th annual.
And you know what? I will continue to be there whenever you ask. Hopefully, though, there will be a cure.
Yes.
For this, and but then we can do it for something else.
That's right.
Divas still need to be simply singing it. But wait a minute. You know what? There was this one very funny thing that happened one time.
Come on.
Okay, Jennifer Lewis, our Jennifer Lewis was doing the show, right?
Yes.
So Jennifer came, I don't know if she was co-hosting or whatever, but anyway, we were all singing. I did my song, and I forget who else, and all the divas had done this. So she walked on stage. She said, yeah, y'all divas singing. But I bet you can't do this. And she turned a cartwheel on the stage.
I remember that.
She said, remember that?
I remember that. I remember that. Okay, I'll tell you, because, if I've done this 30 years, I'm almost positive Jennifer has done 28 of them.
Yes.
But my best story about Jennifer is my wedding. It is my wedding. Now, she is a bridesmaid in my wedding.
Right.
And I come up the stairs and I take my position. And of course, you greet all your bridesmaids. And just as they're about ready to open the door, she says, now, Ralph, I know this is your wedding, but I may never have one. So when those doors open, it is all about me. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, she'll be there Saturday too, right there along with us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Thelma. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you, and God bless.
Okay, God bless you too.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was wonderful. Oh my goodness. Well, I always love to have great memories, and it was so wonderful to be able to, after all these years, still be in touch with people who have come, to help and support and make sure that Divas Simply Singing happens every year. Yeah, I've got sheer will. Yeah, I've got tenacity, but I have truly, truly, truly have had the backing and the support of some of the best volunteers ever. If it were not for volunteers, I couldn't do what I do. And it's like you see the show and you keep hearing me say, Madam Producer, Mr. Producer. Well, they're incredible volunteers and they actually really do produce. So before we end, but I know we've got some other stuff to do, which was in my phone, but now I have lost track. So Madam, Mr. Producer, come show the people who you are. I know they've seen you one or two times. Bring them on. There we go. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, Sheryl. Thank you
Girl,
for having
you're looking
me.
fabulous. I see those eyes. I see the hair. I see the background going on. Tell me
Oh. Well, the eyelashes are courtesy of you, madam. You gave these to me, and they're magnetic, and just a little something for the folks today.
of those magnetic lashes. Thank you.
Yes,
Norman,
thank
how are
you.
you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great because I'm looking over there and look who you brought with you. Oh my God, everybody who's watching, that is Scott Hamilton. Now, that is not the skater, Scott Hamilton, but he is a skater, but not on ice. Okay, maybe sometimes in ice back in the day when we were working together, huh? But that is Scott. And my God, Scott, how many years were we on the road doing something?
5 years on the road, so I have to say, Divas has been my longest job, so I think I've probably been doing this 15 years now. So
Yes.
Thank you. Working with me. Thank you. So he must be a man of steel. Yes. Together all those years, I could wear down a piece of lead in a second. But some people know how to take it and become better for it. You see her over there? Look at her. I know she looks like such a delicate flower, but throw a show at her and watch what she does. And him down here, the darker one with the bald head. Him is a man of faith, and faith is believing in what you cannot see. And sometimes you cannot see how you could possibly do what this woman right here is asking you to do in 12 hours. But
Sure.
they get it done. And the other one, that one right there, the light-skinned one, the bald head, he's like, you want to write a book? Okay, this is how we're going to do it. Oh, you're going to produce a show? Okay, this is how we should do it. And this is what we should put it in. And maybe you should try this font. And then it's like, oh, it's another year of Divas. Okay, we need this, 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 we need that. Baby, if you get a chance to work with any one of the three on this camera, you got somebody very wonderful with you. And to all of you on this, the 30th year, there have been years, times, and moments I could not have gotten it done.
Yeah.
Were not for you. And I thank you,
Thank you.
all so very much. I really do. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you're welcome.
I got no money for you, but thank you.
But sure, I want to say, listening to David, I see nothing has changed with you.
No.
In the sense of having to work Divas through FAM, through the show you had with Tia, doing Sometimes I Cry, traveling, but you've never missed a year of doing Divas Simply Singing. So I guess it's always been there. So congrats.
Thank you.
Yes.
30 years. I mean, I was joking before, but I'm a scientific miracle. I'm 30 years old myself. How does this happen?
I see what you did there.
Say,
Well, yeah. Well, when we bring your son on, this is going to even further take this scientific thing, because he's 29. don't know how that's going to happen, but
You did say you were an embryo when this started, so
I
you were
mean,
an embryo.
how did I manage to do that? I mean, I am a scientific miracle. Oh,
no, but yeah, Scott brought me to Divas. So, you know, just thinking about this being 15 years is, I mean, the time has flown. It doesn't even feel like 15. Yeah.
because I remember I said to Scott, Scott, we need to have a commercial. Because remember, we didn't promote the show. We didn't do commercial. We didn't do anything. You know, we were doing the cards at church, the school, the posters up and down West Hollywood in Lamert Park. We were doing that sort of stuff. But that particular year, I said, Scott, we need a commercial. And I said, but we need it's got to sound like a real commercial, you know, for like a real show and everything. And Scott was like, but it is a real show. Okay, but I have a friend who has just moved here from Chicago, and he has a great voice, and we're going to go meet him. And we went to your apartment, and you recorded the promo, remember? And we put it on JLH.
Yeah, the funniest thing is Norman didn't know it was you coming. I just told him I had a friend that needed to record a commercial.
Right.
Because you know it's Hollywood and name dropping, and I don't believe in that. And so I was like, I'm gonna bring a friend by your house to record this commercial for this show. And he was like, okay, no problem. And he was in utter shock when he opened the door and it was you, because I did not tell him it was
you. Didn't tell
me.
He did not tell me, and I was like, didn't I just see these people in Essence magazine? And I think I was just like, I need to shut the door, you know. But and what was really interesting and what was so like synchronous about that moment, I was actually at home watching a Moesha marathon. So when Sheryl walked into my living room, she was like, you would have that on, wouldn't you? I didn't know you were coming over. So it was just crazy. But that's how we met. And it's been 15 years. I've been the voice of the show for, 15 years.
That's right. That's right. Wow. And then Stephanie, I met through Jared.
Yes.
And Jared said, my friend is a great commercial agent. You've got to meet my friend. So I met her as a commercial agent for the first couple of years. And then she said, I need to do more. But I have to find my joy, which I thought was just amazing. Because how many people say that? A lot of people do not say, I have to find my joy. Yeah. And I just thought that was very remarkable that you were like, I have to find my joy.
Yeah, well, I was so, first of all, when Jarrett told me that you were coming to meet me, I too was a huge Moesha fan and a Sister Act fan and a huge fan of you in general. And so when he was like, will you take a meeting? And I was like, duh, we're taking the meeting and it's a yes, no matter whatever she says. So we started at that place. And then I was just like, well, what are you doing? And you had invited me to see the show that first year that we worked together. And I said, of course I'll come. And then you were like, well, you help me with the show. And I said, well, this is an opportunity for me to find joy in creativity. Being an agent was so rewarding in helping people find jobs or things that made them happy. But I too was a creator and I too was a performer. And so I wanted to be back close to that. And you gave me the opportunity to do that, Sheryl. So I want to say thank you for just saying, come on. And now I've been here with you for 4 years and it's been such an incredible ride.
So Stephanie, did she tell you come on, or did she voluntold you? Were you voluntold?
I was voluntold.
Thank you. That part.
Yes.
We were all voluntold. I think it was what did Sheryl say? Come by the house. Okay. And I walked in the door and she says, everybody, the new voice of DIVAS Simply Singing has walked through the door. And what is DIVAS Simply Singing? Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm
I love
telling
it.
you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But when we talk about, things about following your joy or stepping up, it was like when Scott was talking about, I have an idea. I was like, Scott, you got an idea? Because Scott always has all these great ideas. So he says, I think that we need to do something that supports the Black LGBTQ community. This was now before the IA. So I was just like, And he says, so it'll be an event, kind of like Divas, but not really, because it's going to be more awards based. And I was like, I said, it's fine. Go on and do what you got to do, as long as you don't forget about Divas. Thank you. And you are now in your 5th year?
7th.
7th. Oh my God. Wow. I remember the first one. See, time flies too quickly. So you are now in your 7th year, and that's really wonderful, doing some important work.
So you know what's
Go ahead.
So what's freaky was hearing David say that you all did the first Divas in 90 days, because we did the first Truth Awards in 90 days.
Wow.
Our first meeting was in January, and the
Wow.
show went up March 31st. So I was like, when I heard that, I was just like, too much of a resemblance. So I guess some of you have worn off on me. You know.
I know. Thank you. I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm proud of you and what you've been able to do, and what you did last year with what is the little
Zaya.
the girls
Zaya?
that was a Zaya. That
Yes.
was really wonderful. I just thought that was I hope that she remembers that moment, because it was sort of like a debutante. It was really coming out to the ball, and here it was just fabulous, and so many people were thinking about her, and that was just that was really great. Really
But
great.
what I appreciate about that moment is a lot of times we don't get to see celebrities or their children within our community, or at our events. And so
Right.
I was proud that it was an event put on by us, for us. So yeah, I hope it will be remembered. And I appreciate Dwayne and Gabrielle for allowing Zaya to have that moment at the Truth Awards. So
Yeah, that was really wonderful. It's amazing when you think of being able to do things that are in many ways iconic. I'll never forget the year, I think it was the 28th year, that we honored the cast of Pose.
Yes.
Yes.
And in honoring the cast of Pose, and most of the cast was there that night, and to hear one of the cast members say how important it was to be raised up in front of the community, just as they were, by an organization that was led by Black people, that the community they felt the community was opening and accepting of them. And for that to be their first award as a cast, they said they'll never forget it. And that they've never forgotten it, because they continue to support and be there in some way. So it's really, it's wonderful when you can, use your platform to truly make that mark.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
congratulations.
thank you. Congratulations to you as well. So
Well, thank you. 30 years. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
I
You
know
did that. You did that.
that part.
That part.
Yeah.
December 5th, 7:00, KTLA live streamed, KTLA Facebook live streamed on divasisimplysinging.com, which I'm excited about. And all those years, people saying, why isn't this on TV? All those years later, I guess that was God's way of saying, because it wasn't supposed to be until right now.
Exactly. So there's
When
a quick
everybody
promo
did.
from KTLA that we'll show. And then
Come on.
we have someone who's related to you in the green room.
All right.
All right.
It's a show like no other. The 30th Annual DIVAS Simply Singing Concert and Telethon, presented by Sheryl Ralph and the Diva Foundation. A star-studded event raising awareness for HIV/AIDS. Performances by Jennifer Lewis, Layla Hathaway, Anthony Hamilton, and more. Benefiting Project Angel Food and Better Brothers LA. DIVAS Simply Singing, powered by Gilead. Saturday at 7 on KTLA 5, LA's very own.
I love it. I love it. Where is Etienne? Look at that. Etienne is so. Etienne puts up there Cheryl's favorite what? Cheryl's favorite what?
Well, you got to lose Stephanie real quick so you can see the whole entire thing. But it says Etienne Maurice, Cheryl's favorite.
Remove me.
Cheryl's favorite son. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Aren't you the only?
You are my favorite.
That's the
son.
point. That's the point. That's
yes.
the joke. Yeah,
I only have one.
Okay, I was just checking.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Make sure he didn't say favorite child because then he would be naughty, but he's being very nice.
Yeah, no. I love Coco just as equally, so that would be unfair. We all know that I'm your favorite son, but I don't need to broadcast that. I don't need to broadcast I'm your favorite child, you know? Yeah, it's okay. I know.
But there's a
heart
title
in
right.
my head.
Okay.
Favorite. You saw
Yeah,
that.
there's a title that says I'm Cheryl's favorite son, but I'm not broadcasting I'm Cheryl's favorite child. I mean, that would just be rude and inconsiderate. Like, we all know that I'm her favorite child. I'm just not going to promote it.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, my goodness. He's incorrigible. Incorrigible. But Etienne has been in some form or fashion at every single DIVAS Simply Singing. Unbelievable.
Embryonic at start.
I even brought some memories of my first ones. There you go.
Oh,
this
my
is
goodness.
Me.
Oh.
There you go.
Look at him with the flat top. Could my hair be any bigger?
Wait, you're forgetting about the red cover bun right there. Look at that. Boom.
All right.
Styling and
That's
profiling. Yeah. Very cool. Memories. The good old days.
I like the show and tell.
Okay. It's very funny. Very funny. But very revealing. So
hey, well, I'm proud of you. You know, 30 years. I just turned 29. I've been at almost every single one. First one, I was in your belly. In your belly. I say your belly, okay? Because people saw your belly. You can't see your womb. Okay? All right. You know, I think through Divas, you have helped me find my voice in the fight for racial equity, you know, through Walk at LA. You know, Walk at LA, for those of you that don't know, I started with my sir and my cousin, who was killed in the park, and have offered everything.
Your internet is going wonky.
Can you hear me? Is it wonky?
Your internet is wonky. We can hear you.
Well, it's your internet too. I'm just in a different room.
I think Coco jinxed you.
Mine's not unstable. Yours is unstable.
Trying the best I can. You asked me to be in the show. I'm on the show. What else you want me to do, Mommy? What else you want me to do? I'm here.
Gosh.
I'm here. Anyways, all I can say is thank you. As I celebrate you, I just want to say I thank you and for helping me find my voice throughout these times that we're going through right now. You know, just by watching you time year after year, you know, with almost no money, figuring out how to put on this show, you know, I think that is a testament to your perseverance, your ambition, and wanting to celebrate the lives and friends that you lost due to this horrible epidemic. And I I think it's kind of weird, like I'm doing the same thing, just my own way, given that we've lost Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tatiana Jefferson, and so many more names that we don't know of. And I'm doing that through these yoga classes, through these protests, through these rallies, and really getting people engaged, informed, and offering a space of healing through the practice of yoga, through civic engagement. Just like you with Diva Simply Singing, you have been able to offer a space of healing through the light, the mic, and a piano. To have people participate in this event, in the theater of the stage, and watching people sing for the lives that you have lost is a beautiful thing and is a healing experience. For those of you that haven't come to Diva Simply Singing this year, you will have the opportunity to watch it via the internet, via KTLA on cable. So it's a very exciting time. After 30 years, you're able to broadcast this for the whole world to see, and not just in this one specific theater in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I say thank you and I love you. And I'm excited for this weekend. It's going to be great. I'm still editing and putting together some stuff for you, but we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it work.
Thank
As you can see
you.
behind me, this is the seventh annual Diva Simply Singing poster. It was just a little bit of Divas Simply Singing history. It was made aware to me that you didn't show your face on any of the posters until the fourth or
The
fifth year,
fifth,
Norman?
the
The
fifth
fifth
year.
year. I didn't know that. I had no idea. How dare you have another photo of a woman be on the poster and it not be you? I just feel like that's just so unlike Sheryl Ralph. The fact that the fifth year you decided to make it yourself. I don't know. Whose idea was that? But
Because
obviously it was yours.
I know it's hard to believe, but I'm actually shy. Thank you.
Yo, do not believe a word this woman says. This woman is not shy at all. Oh, you see this woman that's always on with the glitz, the glam, the hair, the makeup, the red lip. That's her when she wakes up in the morning. Yo, this is who she really is. This is not a game. This is not for the camera. This is Sheryl Ralph in her truest form. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the secret's out, and there you have it. Thank you. Thank you.
Anytime.
Yes, yes. So we have an exciting week coming up called DIVAS Health Awareness Week. Starts December 1st through December 6th, a week of virtual events that will be streaming on divasisimplysinging.com. So you don't want to miss it. We're going to have a World AIDS Day Town Hall on December 1st with our presenting sponsor, Gilead HIV. We will also have another town hall later in the day with AARP. And the next day, we're going to have a special presentation of Sometimes I Cry, which is a one-woman show that Sheryl wrote and produced and toured across the U.S. and the world, actually, with Scott. And so we're going to have an all-star version of that. So we'll just let you take a sneak peek of who's going to be a part of that.
Fight on, just a little while longer. Fight on now, just a little while longer. Fight on, just a little while longer. Every little thing will be alright. Every little thing will be alright.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, that looks good.
Look how far the diva has come.
Yes.
With all these years, look how far she has come.
Yeah. 30 looks good on you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you for
Can we get
continuing
another round of
to do
applause
it.
for the team, for the producing team?
Yay!
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, team. I'm so happy for all of you, for the reasons, the seasons, and the times. Thank you all for being a part of Divas Simply Singing. And I've seen each one of you grow and blossom in the times we've been together. And it's amazing because, like a real mother, I'm proud of all of my children. Thank you very much. So have I covered everything you all for this week now? Thank you. Thank you. For everybody that's watching, please remember you want to tune in next week, Saturday at 7 p.m. And you're going to log on to because some of you still like those 3 W's, DIVASSimplySinging.com, DIVASSimplySinging.com, where the show will be live streamed. And if you're in LA, just turn your TV on. Turn your TV on to Channel 5 on the 5th of December. And we will be right there. And if you want to, starting December 1st, please log on to DIVASSimplySinging.com as we will be streaming our health and well-being panels. We cannot thank our sponsors enough. Thank you, Gilead HIV. Thank you, Gilead Compass. I want to thank AARP. I want to thank Cadillac for never stop arriving. I want to thank AIDS Healthcare Foundation. I want to thank
Compass.
Compass. I did Compass.
You said
Who
Compass,
else?
okay.
Morgan Stanley.
Morgan Stanley. Thank you, Morgan Stanley. Who else?
LA Care.
LA Cares. Thank you, LA Cares. And to everybody
KTLA.
that has been watching.
KTLA and Project Angel Food.
Thank you to everybody that has been watching all of these weeks as you've been making donations to help us with Project Angel Food. We thank you. And we will be supporting Better Brothers and Project Angel Food. And the work continues. We thank you. I'm Sheryl Ralph, and that is my team, my squad. Don't they look good? Wave goodbye, children. Wave goodbye. See you all. See you December 5th for the 30th annual Divas Simply Singing. Oh, let me go work it out. Because you know who I do it for? That's right. I do it all for you. I'm Sheryl Ralph signing off. I love you just the way you are, which is perfect because God doesn't make mistakes, baby. And you're one of his best.
It's a show like no other. The 30th Annual DIVAS Simply Singing Concert and Telethon, presented by Sheryl Ralph and the Diva Foundation. A star-studded event raising awareness for HIV/AIDS. Performances by Jennifer Lewis, Layla Hathaway, Anthony Hamilton, and more. Benefiting Project Angel Food and Better Brothers LA. DIVAS Simply Singing, powered by Gilead. Saturday at 7 on KTLA 5, LA's very own.